Hello. We have another question for Bunker Bear. Bunker Bear.
I was just putting a DVD in the player.
The fools at the Fed have started the Operation Twist. They will sell bonds and mortgages with 1 to 3 years maturity, and buy bonds and mortgages with 6 to 30 years maturity, to try to lower long-term interest rates, to stimulate the economy. Do you think this will work?
There are no longer enough unsuspecting suckers to make it work.
What do you mean?
The Fed fools have been trying to stimulate the economy with debt since 2001. Their artificially low interest rates from 2001 to 2005 created a big borrowing binge, because back then there were plenty of unsuspecting suckers. And because of the fractional reserve banking system, the big borrowing binge created a huge amount of phantom money, all of it debt. That debt of doom trashed the purchasing power, which trashed the economy. Overall, it was a net loss. In trying to relieve an ordinary recession, the Fed fools created the Great Recession.
Why did the human beings borrow so much money?
A lot of the borrowed money went into the housing and stock markets, creating big bubbles. Many of the unsuspecting suckers thought that they could sell their houses and stocks to pay their debts and come out ahead. They were badly burned when the big bubbles burst. They found that they had been suckered into the debt of doom. The suckers wised up, and there are no longer enough unsuspecting suckers for the Fed fools to fool.
But maybe the debtors will want to refinance from short-term debt to long-term debt.
If the Operation Twist lowers long-term interest rates, it should raise short-term rates. The debtors may be forced to refinance. But if they make any gain at all on the exchange, that would be offset by the losses of the lenders. No net gain for the economy.
But the jackass Fed is creating the inflation, so the borrowers can pay back with dollars which are worth less.
But the debtors' salaries will also be worthless. With inflation, any gains are offset by losses somewhere else. No net gain for the economy.
Is there anyone else to buy the long-term debt?
Wall Street speculators may be willing to risk borrowed money if they can get our Washington meathead morons to guarantee the loans, or to bail them out with taxpayer money. Our Washington meathead losers should be able to find some way to lose money on this.
But what if large numbers of debt-seeking suckers should miraculously appear?
Then there will be a repeat of the debt of doom debacle. Another net loss, an aggravation of the debt crisis.
So you think there are just not enough people who want more debt?
The human beings already have huge household debt. And our Washington meathead morons are dumping excessive amounts of national debt on top of that. The Fed fools are trying to sell more debt to people already drowning in debt. They might as well try to sell lead weights to swimmers.
Then what do you think Operation Twist will achieve?
I think it will show that the Fed fools cannot adapt to changed circumstances. They still try to lower unemployment with inflation, even though the stagflation of the 1970s proved that does not work. They still try to stimulate the economy with debt, even though that has just trashed the economy. They still try to sell debt to unsuspecting suckers who are no longer there. The Operation Twist should be called the Operation Twits, after the Twits who thought it up.
That does seem more appropriate.
Now if you don't mind, I am playing a DVD of a funny movie. Dumb and Dumber Meet the Bambernack. And I do not want to miss the scene where the Bambernack lights a fart and burns his own butt for a change we can believe in.